Welcome to another episode of Managed Podcast. I'm Stanley, aka Stan Firm.
What's up, fam? It's Carl. We are managed, like you know, we are encouraging men to embrace their varying roles as leaders in the community. What are we talking about today, cuz?
Today we're talking about something that I deal with professionally a lot, and I really think that it's something that we don't talk enough about. Okay, it basically is the dangers of suffering in silence, but specifically the dangers of men suffering in silence.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, for real. I mean, did you not know? Well, maybe you did know, of course, because you're a man about current events. But there are so many men. The rate of self-deletion in men in the various communities has gone higher. So although I really like to go deep and make this a 10-hour conversation, we're not going to do all that. But I definitely want to cover these things that dangers of men suffering in silence. So one, self-deletion that I'm hearing about and seeing about. Two, in the divorce rates that are going so much higher as they are going, as our society is seeing all these changes. Men in these divorces that I'm assisting them with are expressing these things to me, like these thoughts of self-deletion, how they're depressed and their stress level. We're talking about increased heart disease, increased blood pressure. And as we know, the silent killer for men is these stressful things that are happening within our bodies. Okay. Right. How about this also? I have a lot of law enforcement friends and attorney friends, of course, but also the domestic violence rates has gone up extraordinarily higher when it's usually the men that are the one getting incarcerated for that or arrested, or maybe when actually the men are not the ones committing all of those domestic violence incidences. Okay, maybe it's our egos, it's the way that we feel that we don't want the mother of our children to spend any time, in jail or whatever it may be. But these rates are going high. That's just to name a few of the things, right? So what do you think about, before I go further, what's your ideas about that, or what do you think?
I think it's a strong topic for us to definitely talk about, especially with all that's going on. And the one of the biggest things for me, well, not only for me, but I know this probably for a lot of men, is growing up, you're not told that you can be fragile and talk to somebody on some of the issues that you have going on. A lot of times you're told as a young man to just suck it up and keep it moving. Whatever is ailing you, if you want to cry in silence, cry by yourself.
Hey, first of all, no. We know this. Don't say that. That's a lie. They didn't tell us cry in silence. They tell us you don't cry.
Right.
You boys don't cry.
But they did give you the cry in silence. They was like, go cry over there. Nobody needs to see you cry.
You got that? You got that.
I got that.
Not me. You suck it up and deal. What are you doing? Oh, you a girl?
Yeah, I got that too. But
what's wrong with you?
The problem with the men is that men need to understand that we can cry. It's okay. We can be, and this is something I put in the comments of the last time we had the conversation about self-deletion. I said men need to understand we are strong physically, but we're fragile mentally. We're fragile in our spirit. We're fragile in our mind. And we need to understand, just like we go to the gym and we work out to lift muscle, to build our muscles up, we need to do the same thing with our minds and our spirits. We need to work out our
emotional muscle.
Absolutely. We got to work it out. And part of working that muscle out is expressing what's going on inside of you. Because when you keep it inside, like a pressure cooker, after a while, it's going to explode. And it's not necessarily going to explode in something that you were expecting. It's going to explode in an area that you don't want it to. And before it happens, you're going to have to be picking up the pieces of something that you didn't want to be exploded. So I definitely think this is a topic we need to tackle for sure.
Well, again, like this, the title of this is the dangers, but besides just naming the dangers, which we just named a very few of them. Okay, again, self-deletion, divorcing rates or responding to the divorcing rate, domestic violence going higher, and also maybe a depression, stress, obesity. I mean, high blood pressure, those medical conditions that manifest through the suffering in silence. The approaches I want to talk about really quick. The approaches. I mean, when we have a society where we're being inundated with what a man is supposed to be, what's mannish, and of course we're not brand new. We've been doing this for at least 5 to 10 years where we're telling men now it's okay to be fragile. It's okay to be vulnerable. I want to make sure I'm clear on it. I don't think that's true. I think that is a misnomer. I think it's something that's misleading. We are not being told this. I know too many men. I mean, hundreds. My network of people I deal with is not just my local community or family like you.
It's people are telling them to be fragile.
No, we're telling them the reports on the news, the radio show hosts are saying that, but in the world of where we live in, they're not being told that. In fact, yesterday I was dealing with a wife divorcing her husband, and she called me for some advice, not advice, but kind of like, okay, what's the process to do it? And then talking to her as far as where are you currently in the separation stage, because I want to gauge before I give her the new customer client sign up sheet. What are we talking about? What are we dealing with right now? Are there issues of domestic violence? She got into conversations about he's not even a man. Why? He's too emotional. I'm like, what do you mean he's too emotional? He's texting me all the time how he misses the kids and want to see the kids. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean to you? Right. Oh, I just think he needs to just man up. He's the man. He has to deal with it. And we left it alone and went on to other things. But now talk about other women I have around me that's not business related, but socially. I had a conversation with a number of women who are dating, and they were talking about how, these men nowadays want to share themselves with you. And I'm like, isn't that what we're saying and what we've been told in all the movies? We got to share ourselves. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to be a man. At the end of the day, you have to be a man.
Hold up.
So what does that mean? I told her. What does that mean?
So this is my thing. I agree. I believe men should be speaking about how they feel and stuff like that. But when a man is going through something, I do not believe he should talk to a woman. I think he should talk to another male, a brother, a cousin, a pastor, anybody that is a male, because a woman is not going to be able to relate to the issues that we go through. Men carry a burden that is, and I'm not trying to say, I'm not chauvinist or whatever, but we carry a different burden than a woman carries. We carry the burden.
Okay, hold on. What's our burden? Talk about what's the burden that we carry?
So,
and how is it different than that of a woman?
So the real men.
Real men. So hold on, wait. So you're defining men in real and unreal? Real and not real?
Well, because there are some males that are not men. They're male physically, men physically, but they're in mind boys. And so they're running around doing boyish things. So those men are not going to be taking on the responsibility as they should. So I'm going to say, okay, well, I'll change the statement. I'm going to call them.
No, wrong with it. I just want to make sure we like.
No, I'm going to give you a different one. I'll say responsible men.
Okay.
Responsible men, when they're doing what they're supposed to do, from a child, we're taught to provide and to protect. Those are the two main things we're taught to do as men growing up. And so as a male, your burden is when you're sleeping, not to sleep too deep, just so you're listening in case something happens in the house. So you got that burden. You got the burden of making sure the bills get paid. That's another burden that we carry. Another burden of making sure everybody is respectful as far as the children. A burden of the future, because any minute the dad could die. As a father, you have that burden on your mind. When I die, this needs to be taken care of. Does the wife have the lawyer's information in case something happens? Does the wife have the life insurance information in case something happens? So all these things are going through your head as a responsible man. So those burdens, women don't carry as much because they know they're with the man that's going to take care of that. The man is going to take care of it. Somebody breaks in, that man is going to go down there and whoop that dude's ass because the wife knows that. So she's sleeping sound because she knows everything is going to be taken care of.
And it's funny because if we get pushed back, and I know, but what about us women? Again, this is about real men or responsible men.
Ladies, I'm not saying that you guys, I'm not diminishing.
No, there's a big difference. And all this.
You have to understand, a man and a woman, we are not the same. We are two different people. We are two different physical beings on this planet. So we do not carry the same burden. You guys definitely carry burden, but I'm saying as a male, the reason men are the number one cause, not the number one cause, the number one in the self-deletion ring is because of all these burdens that we carry. So there's a lot more men that are self-deleting versus the women in this world. So the reason we're talking to men is because we want to get that number down, because it doesn't make sense. You women can have your podcast about teaching women not to self-delete, but this is us. We're teaching men not to self-delete.
It's not about self-delete. You know what? It's not about this self-deletion because, but it's also about this responding to these pressures, responding to the dangers and approaching suffering in silence, which they don't have to do. And then we were. I know I was conditioned to do that. Okay, but something that you mentioned the bills, also the plans. I know too many in being in different deeper relationships myself. It was always, what's the plan? And the woman would be hype on what's the plan. I'm like, well, the plan is ABC, and either it didn't have enough detail, or it wasn't in a fast enough time frame. And I always had that, and me and some other of my friends will always had that interest as, why doesn't she feel or know my plan, which is a 60-day plan, a 30-day plan, a 3-year plan, is a plan, but for some reason she feels it should be half of that time or faster to respond to what her idea of what my plan should be, because she's not looking at the other things I have to consider. I know in today's world, I know a lot of men are handling not only their immediate family, the wife and the children, or their co-parenting as a single father, but struggling to be in the children's lives who is no longer with them every day. They're also handling their parents with a higher degree of again, I'm not talking about all men, only the responsible men who understand. No, I have a ailing mother, an ailing father. I have to be there for them because my siblings are not around. I'm the one that's here. So I have my wife, my kids, or my co-parent and my children, and my ailing parents I have to care for. And I have to make sure that they all know that I will always be there, smiling with the sledgehammer going,
ready to help, ready to go to work.
And that is that stress and that pressure. Again, it's not for the men that are playing games, that have a black book and they're doing all kinds of nonsense, running
through them girls,
running through them women. I'm not talking about those dudes. Let's not lie. Those are the sexy dudes that just got no time for nothing else. But so not just them. I'm talking about the dudes that are putting their head to the grindstone, their heads down, and every day they're banging at it. They're banging it because that's what they're conditioned to do. How to respond to those dangers? Well, one way I see that can be responded to that is, one, recognizing it.
Absolutely. For sure.
Having some honest conversations. And I don't agree with you that you can't speak to your significant other about it or your wife about it. I think, but I do understand what you're saying. It should be measured. It should be measured what you share. That's how I approach it. I'm not saying nothing at all, but also I'm afraid. I am afraid to share everything because once upon a time when I did that, wait, if I'm feeling this anxiety and this pressure and you're feeling it, who's driving the bus?
We're screwed.
Let's find the plane. And I was like, wow, I thought I could share. I thought I could tell you my level of pressure.
That's why I say nothing.
So you say so. But I don't think you could not say nothing. Oh, okay. I guess, but you're saying not even measured a little bit?
No. Well, it depends. So, like, if let's say some bills are behind on the house, right? Okay, you're gonna talk about that with the wife. Or another example, let's say at work there's a case and your boss is riding you, and it's damn near, if you don't take care of it, you may get terminated. You can't tell your wife that because she's in her mind, she's confident, everything is good, and she's not thinking that the ship is sinking. So if you start giving her, hey, help me get some of this water out, then you're screwed. So
hold on, cousin.
Hold up. You got to be stoic and be the one that's, when she's sleeping, go down in the bottom of the ship and start pushing the water out yourself, throwing the water out, and then go upstairs and get into bed like everything's all good because your plan is to fix it. And I mean, most of the time, the responsible man is going to fix it. But in between that time of the issue to being fixed, her being a part of that conversation will give her a different image of you. She may be like, I don't know, man, this dude may be too shaky for me. But a lot of women don't understand. That's life. Life is autocorrect. We're always on a path of trying to fix things. That there's never a situation where a man wakes up and everything goes exactly according to plan. Hell no. Shit happens. And with those things happening, we have to be the resourceful men to kind of bob and weave and duck and dodge all the stuff that's coming at us. That's right. And so that's what we do. But if we let the women know, like, oh my God, babe, I woke up, I had a flat tire. I thought my day was ruined. I ran into this woman and this woman was trying me. Then I ran into this, all the stuff, the stumbles that we go through. If we give them that information, they may be like, oh my God, this dude is full of issues. But that's the life of a man. We go through shit on a constant basis.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I don't think we have enough space to do that release. I know one of my approaches to that, again, I don't believe in the never, don't tell them everything, but I do know, depending on who you with though, because some women got you like that they want to share in your pain, they want to share in it. But like you said, I think once you realize who you're dealing with, measure what you're doing, measure it. So I'm not saying completely no, ain't happening. Measure, because again, there's been some people that I've experienced or others have told me they experienced. Hey, oh my God, what happened? How? A rare question I'm hearing right now. How was your day, baby? Now again, and hopefully what we're discussing when we're talking about these significant others are women who are secure in their relationship, secure in themselves. So these questions aren't these digging questions. They have a real genuine want and need to actually know what it is, right? Or how are you?
So you're talking about your significant other asking
if they really are about that life, because some people say, oh, some women I know, oh, it's me, that's me. That's not true. It's me. Oh my God, girl, please stop. Okay, there's some girls who, there's some people. Oh, I'll touch on that. There are a lot of women who believe they got their man's back, but if his head is down and he's looking through his phone, he's like, man, baby, you okay? She's thinking he cheating. Who did text you? Yeah. Who trying to meet up with later? When they're asking that, they're digging. Exactly. Who you liking? Who is swiping left and right for? And they're doing that type of approach. I'm talking about the person who's secure enough, and we all have a level of insecurities. We all do. But I'm talking about the person who really sees their man doing their thing and like, baby, are you okay? How was your day today? And if a person has that type of relationship, they can say, yeah, baby, it was kind of rough right now because I got passed over again for another promotion, and that's not fair because Richard doesn't have more than me, but he does play golf on the weekends, and the woman that got you be like, well, get some clubs. Here's some clubs for your birthday. Here's some clubs.
Let me tell you, I hear you on what you're saying, but I think the percentage of women that are like that is very small. So I believe men should focus more on hollering at their boys and their brothers and their dad or whatever, because think about it. Absolutely, sure. Because if you come to me and you want some, Carl, I think I got erectile dysfunction, I'm gonna laugh for sure. I'm gonna laugh my ass off, but I'm gonna be able to relate to you and say, you know what, I heard about that. I know this company, blah, blah, blah. But
at 2 a.m, I heard about that commercial of that dude playing golf.
For sure. But I'm going to be your boy, and I'm going to take that information, and I'm going to help you to get better. But if you went and told your woman, I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, the woman is going to be like, oh my God, I got a broken man. What was I thinking? This dude can't have sex? Oh my God, I thought it was me all this time, but it's his ass. Oh my God, my confidence was so low, because she's not going to be able to understand, because us men, we go through those things sexually. Things happen. We got to push through it. Now, one more thing I'm going to tell you. So check this out. A woman is looking for the man so that she can lean on him, right? So she's going to lean on this man spiritually, mentally, financially, because you're that rock. You're supposed to be able to help whenever something happens. She's not going to lean on you for you to be like, babe, I don't think I can hold it. I can't hold it. My back is hurting. You're gonna have to come up a little. That's not what your woman doesn't want to hear. That your woman wants to feel that security, and you need to be the man to turn around and be like, hey, cuz, give me a boost. And then you, as my boy or my cousin or whoever, is going to prop me up a little bit more to make me secure. And her not knowing no wiser, is going to be like, that's right, I got a good man, and keep it moving. But if I start shaking and she's like, what's wrong with you? You can't hold me? I don't even weigh that much. You get what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Get to fasting, baby.
That's what I feel.
Get to that LA fitness.
A woman is going to the man for that rock. She's not going to him for the fragile flower that some men can be.
Okay, well, yeah, that's part of the dangers of suffering in silence. Remember, silence.
Right. But suffering in silence, we're talking about. That's why I'm saying men should connect with their brothers on a for real level. Like, don't be like, oh, all is good, we cool, fam. You need to talk to your brothers and let them know what's really going on. Be like, bro, I don't know. I have a feeling my wife is cheating on me, but what's going on? Tell me. Let me know. Let's work it out together. But if you, as a man, have this vision or this assumption in your head that something's going on in your house and you keep it to yourself, it's going to create a person that you are not. You may start digging through her stuff, following her, not going to work and leaving work early or whatever. All these things are going to change it because you have this assumption, this stress. Whereas if you would have went to your brother and been like, bro, I think she's cheating. And then the two of you chop it up and figure out what's going on. And then your boy might be like, nah, dog, we've been planning a surprise party for you. You're stressing for nothing, you know? But keeping it in is going to do more harm than it is going to do good, for sure.
All right. So then talking about it, find some people who are that you can trust. And I guess if I do get that EDC popping off, I know I'm gonna get clowned.
You holler at me, I'll take care.
But you're gonna tell me how to deal with it. You know, breathing techniques, drinking that tea. All right. So silence we can approach that silence by having a space and a place with people that we can identify to have those conversations with. Okay. That's 1. 2, never thinking you're alone. When we are not on an island.
Yes.
We are not on an island, especially right now. We are not.
To touch on that, that we're not on an island, enlarge that. Men need to understand, just because you're going through it, that doesn't mean somebody else hasn't. Most men go through pretty much the same thing. We go through the same thought process. We go through the same denial, lack of confidence. And men, you need to understand, we all have those moments when we lack the confidence that we need to continue on with something, or we just don't believe in ourselves. Now, sometimes we need each other to look at and be like, hey, man, bro, I know you. You got this. As brothers, I know you got this. I know you can do this. Don't doubt yourself. You can do this. And a man giving another man that reassurance is going to be that extra push that he needs to go ahead. But if you're keeping it to yourself and you're like, damn, I don't know, I don't think I can handle it, you're pushing yourself deeper into negativity. You need to be with your brothers, your cousins, your uncle, dad, whoever. Get some positive male figures in your life, so that way when you go through whatever you go through, and you are going to go through it, there's no doubt about it, you're going to go through something. You need to be talking to these men. But for sure,
I'm going to say the last thing about this, and again, this is a broad stroke approach, not anything in depth. I want to do more of these conversations. I have some family therapists, some mental health wellness therapists that I know personally, and I want to include their voices later on. So we're going to do this a few more times. But I think the last thing I want to mention to be an approach to responding to the suffering in silence, which I think probably is one of the most important things, if not let go your ego.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let go of the ego. I'm not saying be a punk. I'm not saying be a wuss. I'm not saying be less than what you think you should be. But let's be real. As you said, and I said already several times, we're all dealing with this stuff. We're all dealing with some level that's making us think we're supposed to suffer in silence when we are not, because it will come up. It will manifest. It will take over other parts of who you are and what you're dealing with. And what we do not think we can do, but we should do, the very first approach, I think, is let go of the ego and have that conversation, or let that thing out. Physically, what you can do is work out. I mean, whatever that might be for you. Go for a walk, go for a run. You know, I do. I mean, I'm sorry, I do that. People may clown me, but I self-talk. I'm like, Stan, Let's go. Let's go, bad guys.
Hey,
let's do it.
We be in the boxing training, and he be in there. Let's go, fat boy. Let's go, fat boy. And he's yelling at himself. But you got to do it. You have to motivate. Again,
some people are like, why are you calling something like that? Self-deprecation. I don't believe what I'm saying. My personality works to show the opposite of that. That's how my personality works.
Like you're coaching yourself.
Absolutely. Let's go. I don't want to hear it. Everyone in this room's tired. Oh, yeah? That gives me energy for 5 more push-ups. Everyone is tired. That gives me energy for 30 more seconds of hitting it. You know, that's what I need.
Nice thing. You even if you don't have a gym membership or you're not able to get somewhere, you can work out inside your house. You can do push-ups, sit-ups, lunges, squats. All those things can be done in. You don't need a gym to be that physical fit person.
You gotta do for you.
The positive thing about it working out is it builds it gives you these endorphins to give you it's antidepressants. It's those things are going to help you push forward. Just getting yourself looking better is going to help you feel more positive and confidence in yourself. So definitely.
And again, for my personality type and some others, and I've had, trust me, in the gym we go to, I've had that conversation with people, and even today, I was a little bit tardy, and people were like, oh, I needed that energy today. I needed your energy, Stanley. I needed you to hype us all up. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't need me. Do it yourself. You got it. You're supposed to get this. I do this for me because that's what I need. I'm going through some things. I'm going through a bunch of crazy stuff. But what I do to respond to that is it may be boxing today. It may be jumping rope tomorrow. I might play a round of tennis. I might do all those things physically because how I deal with things is I physically exert myself. I sweat, get my heart rate up to physically focus. And then when I go past that, like if we have to do, I love our coach, and he make us do 100 burpees. You're like, I can't do 100 burpees. And you know what? You can be right. Yep. You're right. You can do it. So
if you say you can't, you can. If you say you can, you can.
So guess what? How do you eat an elephant? Small pieces. How do you do 100 burpees? Small pieces. 5 at a time.
Start by number one.
Hey, exactly. 10 at a time, rest 10, 20 seconds. 10 more, rest 10, 20 seconds. Another, before you know it, we had 100 knocking out. So that's the physical way of addressing this suffering in silence. Another way that we can take is writing, journaling. You can journal what went on today. I keep several types of journals. One of it is Evernote. Evernote is an app you can write down your ideas. You can actually speak to it. So if you're driving, you got little earbuds on, you got your little earbuds. You can literally speak your ideas or speak what you're dealing with to this app, and it saves it. You have to edit later on. Should you wish to do so. My point is, journaling what's been going on is a good way to kind of release it. Absolutely. Writing it down. Yeah. And people don't realize if you have the time to actually write. I write cursive still. I write script. When you have to write, there's something in the written word when you realize, you know what? Here's what happened today, and today I did it. When you physically write, something is released, and that can be another way to release these feelings of anxiety, these feelings of selflessness. Self-depression. That's a way for us to release it.
When you're writing, you're able to get a lot of what you want to express out on paper, because a lot of times when we talk, it's difficult for us to get it all out, because in our minds, it makes sense. And in our minds, it's just going, it's bouncing all over in our minds. But when we write, because we're calm, we're patiently sitting, we're able to express fully what is on our mind. So I definitely believe in that writing down for sure.
You know what else is kind of crazy? This may sound a little bit crazy, a little bit weird, but dealing with this suffering in silence sometimes, I've actually, go to your pastor if you have a pastor, if you have a church, you have a priest, look for some level of clergy. If you don't have that, therapists, there are therapy online you can actually go online. There's some mental health, mental wellness therapists that are available to you. Some counselors is all there online. Should you want to find it, we probably will start including those things,
the links and the numbers for sure
in these conversations. Definitely do that. Also, hey, you know what? Talking to my kids. not the in-depth conversation as far as here's what daddy's dealing with. I'm not going to put that on my children, but talking to the people around me that are younger, different perspectives, just having those light conversations as far as them and what they're dealing with, that helps. That has helped me too. It may be something that is done all the time. Again, I'm not going to tell my kids, here's what daddy's dealing with. They'll see what but talking to people that you may not think can hear you about what they're dealing with helps you sometimes deal with what you're dealing with. And that's also something that people just don't do. And you have that opportunity to like do so. What else?
Take advantage of being a part of your family, man. A lot of people stay, especially because of social media, they're disconnected from family. They're connected because they like in each other's pics and they're seeing each other where trips are going on. But as far as talking to them, they're not doing it. And it's
what? I can already hear that person smirking. Not my family. I ain't sharing nothing because there's a bunch of haters. Or it's the most negative people could be those in your family. Well, guess what? Sometimes you can create other families.
Sure.
Maybe there's a neighbor down the street. Maybe there's, Mrs. Johnston with a T somewhere, or a Mr. Johnston.
And stay away from the lady.
Okay, all right, you're right.
Mr. Johnson, maybe. Man,
Mr. Johnston, an elder that might be in your community, someone social like that. I always say also join groups. There are groups online you can join. There are a bunch of men groups like Managed Podcast. All right, I'm always available. All right, there's us.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We there.
And the talking and the picking.
Right, we there. I mean, he's gonna be doing all that dancing and crap. That's not me. I ain't with it.
I don't dance no more, boy. I was nice with it.
He did some old bull crap the other day, but whatever.
What?
He is. What you mean that Jerry curl crap you did?
Oh, Soul Glow.
Not me. Y'all want to see that crap from me, but you'll be ready for it because it's coming from him. I'm good. But you can.
That's not true.
Hit us up. You can message us. You can talk to us. We are good to answer any questions. We believe that us doing this is helping people, and that's all we're here for. We want to help as many men to do better, to be better, live better, and become a better partner, become a better father, become a better brother to someone else. Because what we do, we want you guys to do the same for someone else and continue that process.
Pay it forward in some manner, some way, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. As we say, encouraging men to be leaders in the communities and also in the varying roles within the community. Because at the end of the day, we are those pillars. Yeah. You are that pillar, all right? Because they are looking for you to be that foundation. Okay, and guess what? There's no dates being planned. There's no marriages being happen. There's no relationships being entered into unless we, the men, make it happen.
Yep.
We're the ones that make it happen.
So many kids that don't have father, and when you get the knowledge on how to be better, you got to turn to that kid and help him be better. So as he gets older, he's going to turn to someone else and help them be better. And all of that is a part of the big scheme of being the best humans that we can be. Because there's too many humans that are out there being disrespectful, being selfish, focusing on themselves, and a lot of people are being hurt by it. I mean, we're going to get into more conversation, but the whole single mother rate is extraordinarily out of proportion. It's crazy.
And guess what? We're not going to talk about that right now, but we will. A lot of it is a response of control that they want to have, which they don't need to have it. They don't need to, but it's okay. Another conversation.
We as men, we need to take control of the situation, the growth of these young boys, because these young boys are coming into the world and they're doing idiotic, irresponsible, selfish things to other women, other men, life, robbing, stealing.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, young Dolphin. I mean, I don't know all the new fancy, little this, little that, who's dealing with stuff, but they're being not self-deleted, but they're being unfortunately negatively dealt with physically with handguns and others because of a lot of hurt. And as we know, hurt people hurt people. Yep. So all right, so let's wrap this up. I just want to say thank you for the time, cousin, as always.
So everybody, please subscribe. If you got if we helped you, subscribe to our page, like it, leave a comment, ask questions.
Share it. How about this?
Y'all was stupid as hell. That shit didn't make no sense. Leave that comment. Tell us, and we know what we got to fix.
Hey, listen. If it didn't help you, let us know. If it didn't help you, let us know, because guess what? We're not experts on anything but our lives.
Share it with somebody that you feel needs this, and even if they don't need it, they may know somebody who needs it. But share it. Go to our Twitter page, or TikTok, or IG. All of it's the same. Manish. All of it. Just look it up. Manish Podcast, and you'll find us. But
all right.
Other than that, y'all take care. We love y'all. We're looking forward to what's coming in the future. God bless.
Let's go. Stay man-ish.
Man-ish.